That was the first cast with that spy bait. I just got out here on a main lake. This is like my second stop. The first stop, I tried a little top water, and that's not working real good right now. We're getting into July. The water temp's creeping up on 90 degrees. I'm going to show you the spy bait I'm using this morning. This is one of my old favorites. And once again, this is a G-Fix 80. That's about all I use anymore. I mean, I used to use a lot of larger spy baits in the 72, but just kind of condensed it down to a couple. One of them y'all know about, and that's ghost minnow. But if you look back on some of my old posts and some of my old YouTube videos on spy baits, you're also going to see this one. This is American shad. That's the one I just tied on in first cast. You see what happened? I just threw it around some brush, brought it over the top of brush. When we're in low light like this in the morning, sometimes I like to go to a solid colored bait. We got a fish busting. Watch this. On the American shad. I'm gonna keep moving around some of these main lake humps here. Man, I don't know if you saw that. I'll try and see if I got that. I got it on video, but I'm gonna try and cut it out for you. But man, these fish were just blowing up like crazy, whole school of them, and within casting distance easily. I had the popper tied on because I've been kind of throwing it this morning, the emerald popper. I threw that popper, I don't know whether we can see it in the video, but I threw that popper right in the middle of those schooling fish like 3-4 times. None of them wanted anything to do with that popper. Not one of them came over and touched it. I threw it right on top of one fish. I mean, I practically smacked this fish in the head. He acted like he didn't even care about the popper, like maybe it was just an annoyance to him. So anyway, popper ain't working. I'm gonna try a little walking bait next, but doesn't look like the top water's working, so I'm gonna keep on rocking with this American Shad G-Fix 80 spy bait. There you go. I'll show you what I did. Man, look how this fish is just barely hooked here. Watch this. Just fell right out. That's the way it is a lot of times with these spy baits. But sun's up now. It's probably about 10:30. I use the American Shad when it's kind of low light, early morning. It's a good one to use because it's a solid color. Once the sun comes up, watch, switch over to that ghost minnow, because the ghost minnow has kind of a blue sheen to it and it flashes in the sun. Sun's up high now, so switching over to the ghost minnow G-Fix 80 Duo Realis, and hopefully we can just keep on pounding them, catching fish like this. Hey gang, Jim Farmer here. It's Friday, it's early afternoon. I'm just coming through the marina and calling it a week this week, but wanted to talk a little bit about what's been on the deck this week and what I've been using. Top water's starting to slow down a little bit. Water's heating up, you know, it's pushing, I don't know, about 88, 89. It might even be close to 90 by now with these hot days. But supposed to get a little cool down next week, but water's heating up and top water's dying down a little bit. It doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of oxygen at the surface, and these fish that are coming up, it's not like they're schooling in big numbers right now. I saw two places this morning where there was multiple fish schooling, and other than that, it's usually the singles right now. What the fish are doing is they're isolating the bait, they're pushing it to the top, and they're chasing it down and eating it. One thing they're not doing is they're not staying up on the top, and that tells me there's not good oxygen there. Ran into Jimmy Sanders and Mitch Harper yesterday, and Mitch told me the 3-second rule was in effect for the top water. So, you know, you got about 3 seconds. If they come up, you got about 3 seconds to get a cast to them, because once they come up, get what they're getting on the surface while they're headed right back down. There's no oxygen up there, so it's like they're holding their breath whenever they come up to the surface. So with that being said, I haven't been focusing too much on top water. One thing I will say about the top water is have your top water ready. Have your top water rod ready. And when I say ready, I mean like have the bait hanging down off the rod tip about 2 feet and lay it down on the side of your boat. Because when these fish come up, if you're within casting distance, you got to get to them quick. You know, if your rod's like laying on the deck and you've got your bait hooked up to the rod, you know, you got to pick it up, you got to unhook the bait, all that. Just the point is have it ready with top water, because you got to get that bait in there within the first few seconds, or else they're not gonna come back up. And it's really hard to call fish up right now. You might be able to get some big splashing bait that fish gets curious. He might come all the way to the top to look at it or eat it, but chances are he's not coming up. So with that being said, that leaves us with swim baits like a seabill. Haven't thrown the seabill this week. I think I lost it really, but haven't thrown the seabill a lot. But I've been focusing on spy bait and drop shot. It's been spy bait and drop shot this week. So talk a little bit about the spy bait. Spy bait, we did that last week. last week's videos, last week's fishing report. Talked a lot about spy bait, started throwing it today, but I wanted to tell you something else. If you guys follow me pretty close, and you have for years, and you follow the spy baiting, well, you know that I only throw 1 or 2 spy baits. You know about the ghost minnow. Just about everybody's already figured that one out from the reports, but this is another one. If you look at some of my older spy baiting videos, you're going to see that I used American Shad G-Fix 80 alive. The times that I use this is, number one, when ghost minnow isn't working very well, but the second time I use it is low light. Like this morning, I got out there, you know, we had some clouds, it was low light, it was early morning, and they were on this thing. I don't know how many I caught on it, but I got a few of them on video, but they were on the American Shad. Once it got to be about 10, 11 o'clock, well, they kind of quit on that, tied the ghost minnow back on, caught a few more with that. By about noon, these fish were getting tight to the brush. So that's when the drop shot came in. So drop shot that I'm using is the one that I'm always using, and you guys should already know about that. And you all should have it in your tackle box. Blue Lily. The weight that I'm using is a 3/8 ounce cannonball weight. You can use all different kinds. There's cylinder weights, you know, there's all different kinds, tungsten weights, but I'm just using a 3/8 lead cannonball weight, and that works fine for me. So that's the drop shot. So you've got your spy bait and your drop shot, and whenever you read my fishing report on my blog, well, I'm going to explain this a little bit more about what I did this week to catch fish. So if you're out this weekend, be careful and have a good weekend.